Hello friends, have you ever heard of a place where ships and the planes seems to vanish without a trace? A region where compasses spin and the electronic equipment goes haywire? Welcome to the enigma that is the Bermuda Triangle. Well, let's start with the basics. What exactly is the Bermuda Triangle? Well, picture a triangle in the western part of the North Atlantic Ocean. The 3 points are the Miami, Florida and the Puerto Rico and the island of the Bermuda. This area, roughly 500,000 square miles in the size, has been the subject of countless theories and speculation. Well, it's earned a quite a reputation over the year. Some call it as the Devil's Triangle, others the Limbo of the Lost. This nickname came from the numerous unexplained disappearance of the ships and the aircraft in the area. Let's take a trip back in the time to some of the most famous incident. In 1945, 5 US Navy bombers known as the Flight 19 vanished during the training mission. The search plane sent to find them also disappeared without a trace. This incident kicked off the Bermuda Triangle legend. Then there is a case of the USS Cyclops in 1918. This massive naval cargo ship disappeared with the 306 crew and the passengers. But it's not just a military vessels that have fallen victim to the triangle. In 1948, a civilian aircraft, Star Tiger, vanished in the route to the Bermuda. Just 1 year later, its sister plane, Star Ariel, made the same fate in the area. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but ships and the planes go missing in other part of the ocean too, right? But why does the Bermuda Triangle get all the attention? Well, it's partially due to the number of incidents reported in this area. Also, because of the strange phenomena that people claim to experience there. Pilots report their instruments goes haywire. Compasses spin uncontrollably, making navigation nearly impossible. Some ships have reported seeing strange lights or experiencing a sudden violent storm. These reports have led to all sorts of the wild theories about what might be causing these disappearances. Some people believe it's the work of the aliens using the area as some kind of intergalactic highway. Others think it might be the lost city of the Atlantis, using advanced technology to pull ships and the planes under the waves. There are even theories about time rafts and the dimensional portals. Imagine sailing along and suddenly finding yourself in another time or dimensions. So, let's take a step back and look at this from a more scientific perspective. Many researchers argue that the Bermuda Triangle isn't as mysterious as it seems. For starters, it is one of the busiest shipping lanes in the world. More traffic means more accidents. It's as simple as that. This area is also prone to tropical storms and the hurricanes. This powerful weather system can easily sink ships or bring down any planes. Another factor is the Gulf streams, making it seems like vessels have vanished into the thin air. Then there is the issue of the methane gas. The ocean floors this region contain large deposit of the methane gas. If this gas were to bubble up to the surface, it could potentially sink ships or even bring down aircraft. But what about all these reports of compasses and the instrument failures? Well, there is a natural explanation for that too. Parts of the Bermuda Triangle is one of two places on Earth where magnetic north and the true north aligns. This can cause compasses reading to be off, leading to the navigation errors. So, with all this natural explanation, why does the legend of the Bermuda Triangle persist? Part of it is a human nature. We love a good mystery. The idea of an area where the law of the nature doesn't apply. Media coverages has also played a significant role. Well, books, TV shows and the movies have all helped to keep the mystery alive. But there is something interesting. The US Navy and the US Coast or US Coast Guard doesn't recognize the Bermuda Triangle as an especially hazardous area. They say the number of the incidents isn't higher than any other similar busy area. So, what do you think? Is the Bermuda Triangle a supernatural danger zone or just a busy area where natural phenomena have been misinterpreted? Now, let's move to the next mystery. The Pyramid of the Giza. These colossal monuments have stood the test of the time for over 4,500 years. But what is the story behind them? Let's unravel the mysteries of these ancient Egyptian marvels together. The Pyramid of the Giza are located just outside of the Cairo, Egypt. They are made up of the three main pyramids: the Great Pyramid of the Khufu, the Pyramid of the Khafre, and the Pyramid of the Menkaure. These structures were built during the Egypt's Old Kingdom period, around 2686 BC. Well, let's start with the Great Pyramid of Khufu, also known as the Pyramid of the Cheops. It's the oldest and the largest of the three pyramids, originally standing at 146 meters tall. It was the tallest man-made structure for over 3,800 years. The pyramid was built as the tomb for Pharaoh Khufu of the 4th dynasty. It took about 20 years to construct, using approximately 2.3 million limestone blocks. Each block's weight between 2.5 to 15 tons. Imagine moving those without modern machineries. The ancient Egyptians used a variety of the tools to build the pyramid. These included copper chisels, bronze saws, wooden rollers and the slates, rams, levers and the plumb bobs. They also use the sophisticated surveying and engineering techniques to achieve the pyramid's precise shape. Now, let's talk about how they build this massive structure. First, they created a smooth, flat surface to build on. They did this by digging the ground to bedrock level and creating a grid of the trenches filled with the limestone blocks. Next, they transported limestone blocks from nearby quarries using wooden rollers. The blocks were then fitted tightly together. As the pyramid grew taller, they likely used rams to move the blocks to the up. But here is where it gets interesting. We are still not entirely sure how they built the upper level. Some theories suggest a single long ramp that was built up as the pyramid grew. Others propose a spiral ramp that would around the pyramid as it was constructed. Moving on to the pyramid of the Khafre, built by Khufu's son. It appears taller than the Great Pyramid because it built on the higher ground. This pyramid still has some of its original smooth limestone casing at the top. Imagine how all these pyramids looked when they were first built, completely covered in the white limestone. The smallest of the three pyramids is the pyramid of the Menkaure. It's about a quarter of the size of the Great Pyramid. Interestingly, it was found unfinished, giving us clues about the construction process. Now, let's address the common questions. Were the pyramids built by slaves? Contrary to the popular belief, evidence suggests that the pyramids were built by the skilled workers. They were paid for their work and even buried near the pyramid, an honor in ancient Egyptian society. The Pyramid of the Giza are not just about the pyramid themselves. The complex includes the Great Sphinx, a massive limestone statue with a lion body and human heads. Is believed to represent Pharaoh Khafre and god of the pyramid complex. There are also smaller pyramids for queens, boat pits and workers. These additional structures gives us insight into the lives of those who built and maintain the pyramids. One of the most fascinating aspects of the pyramids is their astronomical alignments. The sides of the pyramid are aligned almost exactly with four cardinal directions: north, south, east and the west. This alignment is so precise that it off by only fraction of the degree. How did they achieve this level of the accuracy thousands of the years ago? The pyramids have captured the human imagination for millennia. They have inspired countless theories about their construction and the purpose. Some have even suggested aliens' involvement, but there is no evidence to support such claims. The reality of their construction is impressive enough. Today, the Pyramid of the Giza face new challenges. Pollution, tourism, and the urban development all pose threats to these ancient structures. Efforts are underway to preserve and protect them for future generations. Now, let's move to one of the America's most notorious unsolved cases, the Zodiac Killer. This mysterious figure terrorized northern California in the late 1960s and the early 1970s. But what made the Zodiac Killer so famous? Was it the brutal murders, the cryptic letters, or the fact that they were never caught? Let's unravel the chilling mystery together. The Zodiac Killer's dominance of the terror began in the December 1968. A young couple was shot in their car on Lake Herman Road in Benica, California. David Faraday and Betty Johnson became the first confirmed victim. But this was just a beginning. 6 months later, another couple was attacked at Blue Rock Spring Park. Darlene Ferrin was killed, but her companion Michael survived. This attack mark a turning point in the case. The killer made a chilling phone call to a Vallejo police department. He claimed a responsibility for both this attack and the Lake Herman Road murder. In August 1969, the San Francisco Examiner received a letter. The letter claimed to be the killer and included some cryptograms. They demanded the letter to publish on the front page, or more murderers would follow. This was the first of many letters and the courts sent to the newspapers. The killer signed these letters with distinctive symbols, a circle with a cross through it. These symbols became the killer's calling card, earning them the first name Zodiac. The Zodiac next attack came in the September 1969 at the Lake Berryessa. Brian Hartnell and the Cecilia Shepard were stabbed multiple times. Brian survived, but Cecilia sadly passed away 2 days later. The killer left a message on Brian's car door, claiming the responsibility. Just 2 weeks later, the Zodiac struck again in San Francisco. A taxi driver, Paul Steen, was shot and killed in the cab. This time, witnesses saw the killers and described it to the police. It was the closest anyone had came to identifying the Zodiac. The Zodiac continued to send the letters to the newspaper and the police. These letters contained details only the killer would know. They also included more cryptograms and the threats of the future violence. The Zodiac claimed to have killed many more people than the confirmed victims. However, investigations were never able to verify these additional claims. One of the most fascinating aspects of the case was the cryptograms. The first cipher was cracked by a high school teacher and his wife. It contained a rambling message about collecting slaves for the afterlife. But the second cipher, known as the 340 ciphers, remained unsolved for decades. It wasn't until 2020 that a team of cryptograph enthusiasts finally cracked it. The investigations into the Zodiac killer was massive. Multiple law enforcement agencies were involved. Thousands of the potential suspects were interviewed. Yet, despite all efforts, the Zodiac's true identity remained a mystery. Over the year, many theories and the suspects have emerged. Some believe the killer was Arthur Allen, a former school teacher. Others pointed to Rick Marshall, a film buff with an interest in the cryptograph. More recently, a team of the investigators claimed to have identified the Zodiac as Gary Francis. However, none of these theories have been conclusively proven. The Zodiac case has had a lasting impact on the popular culture. It inspired books, movies, and countless documentaries. The 2007 film Zodiac brought renewed interest to the case. Even today, amateur sleuths continue to pore over the evidence. They hope to finally unmask the killer who has eluded identification for so long. The Zodiac killer remains one of America's most infamous unsolved cases. It's a story that continues to fascinate and frighten us decades later. Will we ever know the true identity of the Zodiac? or will this killer forever remain a mystery? What do you think? Let us know in the comments below. And if you found this video interesting, please give it a like and share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe for more mystery content. Until next time, stay safe and keep searching for the truth.